A little while back, I made a fun little drum and bass remix of the Weeknd's Take My Breath. And I thought it could be fun to show y'all how I did it and how you can apply these same ideas and techniques to any other song you decide to remix. The first step to any remix will be getting the acapella for the original song. Now there are a couple different ways to do this with how many AI stem extractors are out there, but if you're looking strictly to get an acapella, the best free option out there is UVR5. It's completely free and works incredibly well, even better than some paid options you'll find out there. So now we got our acapella, we're gonna drop it into FL Studio and we're gonna line up the acapella with the original BPM of its song. In our case, it's 121 BPM. You can pretty easily Google it if you're not too sure what BPM it's in exactly. Then we're gonna go into our audio clip here, go into mode, and then select stretch. This will now allow us to time stretch our acapella sample to whatever BPM we see fit. For drum and bass, we want to be in that 160-ish range, but I stuck with 151 because I found that 160 just started to feel a little too fast for our acapella. Now that we got our acapella stretched, it's time to start remixing. For me, that starts with writing a new chord progression for the song. This is where we can really give the original song a completely different vibe. This song was originally written in G sharp major, so I just wrote a chord progression using the same chords that fall under the G sharp major scale. Usually with songs that fall in major scales, one of the easiest things you can do to give a remix a completely different vibe is by using the relative minor scale of the major scale that it was originally written in. It didn't work for this song specifically, but I did want to give y'all that quick little tip to try out on your own time. I wanted to give this remix a bit of a darker vibe, so I chose to start this off on a C minor and then went from there. I'll be honest, this chord progression isn't something I would typically write, but that's what's so cool about remixing a song like this. You have to create around the acapella and make sure you're complementing it as best as possible while still giving the song something new and unique. I started off with a pad layer to get that ambient drum and bass vibe off rip, then I took the root notes from our chord progression and copied and pasted them onto a deep respace preset from Serum. After that, I started working a bit more on layering our chords. I layered the same exact chord progression over another pad that had a bit of a slower attack on it and a brassy synthwave kind of sound, so we can still have some of that signature Weeknd vibe to the song. Since the Weeknd is absolutely killing it with these vocals here, I didn't want to go too crazy with the melodies. I just stuck to making very simple call and response counter melodies that were really just there to give the song a bit of ear candy. I started with this ambient piano layer and a pluck that has a ton of reverb on it. As you can see, two incredibly simple counter melodies that just play really well off each other. I then added this guitar pluck that has this panning tremolo effect on it for more subtle movement in the background, and then added a super short vocal chop so I can layer in a bit of a faster rhythm here to give the song a bit more excitement. I tried to make sure both of those elements were super in the background and you can't really hear them, you can almost just kind of feel them a little bit. And then I layered in one last counter melody to fill out any empty spaces where I removed the ambient piano. Alright, that is all of our melodic layers. Now we can finally get onto our drums. The first thing I did was layer in a super simple Amen style drum break here to map out the drum groove I wanted to use on the song. I then layered in a combination of my own drum samples along with some cashmere drum samples, following the same groove of the drum break and filtering out a ton of the low end and the high end on the drum break so that it doesn't really get in the way of our added samples. And when you add it all up,
hold on to your tight.
If you want to watch some of my other drum and bass tutorials, you can very easily do that by clicking this little thingy over here, or if you want to listen to the full remix, you can click this little thingy over here. I hope the video was helpful, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see y'all in the next one.